In this video, we're traveling to Tokyo. Okay, so today we are in Tokyo. This is the first time visiting since I moved out of the country last year. So during that time that I was living here, which was about several years, I flew back and forth from the US and learned a lot about how it is to travel to Japan. So today I'm just going to give you a few quick recommendations of mine about how to travel to Tokyo. Okay, let's start with packing. So March and April is actually a difficult time to pack because the weather changes. In March, it's generally still on the cooler side, but sometimes it'll get warm. And then I've also seen the cherry blossoms come out, but then it snows. So it's pretty unpredictable. April gets warmer around the 60s to 70 degrees Fahrenheit on a lot of days. And there may be days of wind, rain, and general moisture in the air as May approaches. You want to pack as small as possible because things in Tokyo tend to be a little tight like a lot of European cities, but way busier. So Tokyo and Japan as a whole actually aren't really backpacking places like some other countries in Asia. So think suitcase when packing. I'm bringing one large suitcase and one backpack, and that's it. While there may be days where I could wear a down or heavy jacket, I'm not going to bring it because it will just be a few days at most and it just takes up too much space. So I'm bringing one wool coat that goes down to just above my knees and one light coat that's about the same length but can be folded up pretty tightly, one light down jacket from Uniqlo which also can be rolled up, and one raincoat. For undershirts, I'm bringing both short-sleeved Uniqlo Heattech and Uniqlo Airism to help with the colder days and then also the slightly warmer days as well. So in general, you want to dress relatively presentable and moderate, so not too much skin showing because that's just kind of how Japan is. And if you go to some high-end sushi places, you're likely not going to be able to wear anything that has strong smells, so like perfumes or colognes, because it changes the experience of eating the sushi. And also definitely don't have any dirty or worn down socks because you will take off your shoes at times. So you definitely want to do your Visit Japan web application beforehand. You have to create an account and fill out your info on the website. This is basically your personal info, your customs declaration, and vaccine info. This will likely save you a lot of analog paperwork and hassles once you land in Japan, especially now that everyone seems to be visiting the country again and it is pretty crowded. When considering which airline to fly on, I'd say JAL or ANA if they're available. They're both Japanese airlines and Japanese consumers have some of the highest expectations for service and quality. If they're not options, then Korean or Asiana or Singapore are also really good. Hawaiian is also pretty decent and it's probably the best American option in my opinion. As far as which airport to fly into, since there are two Tokyo International Airports, I'm gonna say to fly into Haneda if possible because it's actually in Tokyo, whereas Narita is technically in the neighboring prefecture of Chiba. If flying into Haneda is only a little more expensive than flying into Narita, I'd still go with Haneda because it saves time and is cheaper to get to and from. One of the things that you're gonna wanna do really soon after you get into Tokyo is to get a train card. Tokyo is just a lot of trains and transfers, and most ticket gates now don't even accept paper tickets anymore. You can use your JR Pass, which a lot of you probably will get to travel around Japan, but that can take some time and a lot of trains in the city are actually not operated by JR. There's also Tokyo Metro, Toei, Seibu, Keio, Odakyu, and a ton of other companies operating the train system in Tokyo. So ideally, you're going to want to avoid having to figure out and think about whether or not the trains you're catching are JR or not, and then wait in line to show your pass to the staff and all that. So just get a train card. Suica and Passmo are the most common train cards, and they're interchangeable, so it doesn't really matter which one you get. You can also put them into your wallet apps and use Apple or Google Pay when you go through the gates. Okay, getting from the airport to the city. I've seen tourists recommend catching the monorail from Haneda Airport, but sometimes that's not the best option. One of the main reasons for that is you're still probably gonna have to transfer at Hamamatsucho Station onto another train. So what I like to do is catch the airport limousine bus. It takes you directly from the airport to city centers like Shinjuku, for example, and it only takes like 35 to 45 minutes on average. But the best thing is you don't have to deal with transferring in crowded train stations while carrying your heavy luggage that you just came to the country with, and you're guaranteed at least a seat. So my last tip is a little bit of a hack. It's called Takyubin. It's a shipping service from Kuroneko Yamato, which is a delivery company. They will ship your luggage to wherever it needs to go. So it's especially useful if you have short trips to other cities or are staying at multiple hotels within Tokyo. For example, you can ship your large suitcase to your next hotel, so you can just take your carry-on with you on that domestic trip to Kyoto or Hiroshima or wherever you may go. And when you come back to Tokyo and check in at that next hotel, your big luggage will already be there. So that is really helpful because you're definitely not going to want to take that big luggage onto the Shinkansen. And ideally, you're not going to want to bring it anywhere outside of the hotel unless it's to and from the airport. So these are just some of the tips that I have and my family and I use after living and traveling in Japan for several years. If you found this useful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any tips of your own, definitely leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you'll enjoy your next trip to Tokyo. Thanks for watching.